She says to me, I want to kiss you in front of in front of everybody. I said, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Tay Dribble, aka Sir Dribble, back to y'all with another banger, man. And in today's video, as I can tell in the title and the thumbnail, I will be doing a story time. Listen, y'all, this is like my first story time ever on this channel, so hopefully this go good. Nah, it is gonna go good because the story time I'm about to tell y'all, yo, it's gonna be crazy. But before we get into the video, man, I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're new to the channel, turn on your post notifications, man. But without further ado, let's get into it, no cap. Alright, yeah, so listen, this is how we're gonna start the story off. So, the girl in this story, we're gonna call her, Beetle. Just a random name. We're gonna call her Beetle, okay? So, how I wanna start this off? Okay, we're gonna start off from the first day of school. But that's what we're gonna start the story off with the first day of school. So, mind you, I didn't even go to school the first day. Like, I didn't attend no classes, nothing like that. I went to school just to get my schedule and like my locker combinations or whatever, right? So, you feel me? I come in with a little light drip, you know what I'm saying? You know me, your boy Tay Dribble, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had like on a like a black champion shirt, some Robin jeans, feel me? Like some old school type drip, feel me? But my infrared, I think. But that's not the point. So, you know what I'm saying? I walk into school, right? Mind you, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just looking. They was like, go to the guidance office. So I'm like, where's the guidance office? I'm walking everywhere. Like, I'm like, yo, like I was lost. So I finally get to the guidance office or whatever, right? Mind you, I'm with my mom. So we walking, right? We get to there. So I'm looking, and I see some little extravagant, little succulent, little Hispanics. I'm like, whoa, like. Shorty type fire. So I couldn't really see her face. I just seen like what she had on and like what you know what I'm saying. From behind she looked a little valid. I ain't gonna front. She looked valid. So I'm like, all right, let me just, you know. So then I walk in, open the door, she turns around. So I'm like, when I seen her face, I was like, yeah, boy, I need you. I need you. So I'm just standing there, right? So like I'm like trying to get my stance together. I'm just sitting there like, all right, how am I to approach her? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to look brolic. I don't know if I want to look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there. So I'm like, all right, how do I want to say something? Now, mind you, my mom there. So I'm like, I never really like talked to a girl in front of my mom. So it's like, how am I about to bag shorty? Like, am I going to like have to try to catch her on the way to class? Like something like, either I'm gonna get her now or I'm gonna get her when the next day of school. So I'm just sitting there. Shorty turns around and was like, "Hi, I'm Beetle," and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Okay." She want me. She want me. That should have been a red flag. I ain't gonna front. That should have been, but I'm like, nah. I give it the benefit of the doubt. I like giving people the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, she's probably just a nice person. So she was like, "Hi, I'm Beetle." So I'm like, mind you, this is my freshman year. So like, I knew how to talk to girls, right? But it was like. It was a new type of scenery, like a new school. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm about to approach this. So in my head, I'm about to be like, what's good? I say, sup. Bro, that joke had me sick, bro. I'm like, mind you, in my head, I'm like, yo, I know what I'm about to say to her. Like, yo, what's good? Like, what's up? I'm Tay. I say, sup. So now I'm just sitting there sweaty. I'm like, I know I messed up. I'm like, yeah, I blew it. So then she was like, oh, what grade do you? And I'm like, I'm a freshman. She was like, oh, okay. She says, mind you, she was a junior, I think, at the time, I believe. Either a junior or a sophomore, I can't remember. So she was like, oh yeah, this is a really nice school, whatever, like, you know, just tell us about the school and how it was. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right, I'm like, what's your name, by the way? Oh, wait, no, I didn't say that, I'm like, I just said okay. And then she was like, well, I see you around sometimes, I gotta get to class. After we was done talking or whatever. So I'm like, all right, bet. She walked out. I look at my mom. I'm like, I think I found her, Mom. I think I found her. One, she just started laughing. She was just like, oh, boy, shut up. So I get to the car. I'm like, yo, Mom. Like, I should have got her a snap, but I'm gonna see her again at school watching me. We were just talking about. She was like, oh, she seemed like a nice girl. Whatever. Right. I think my mom called it out before I even said anything. So I think she was like, oh, she like a little baba, a little trushy. So I'm like, nah, she's just a nice person. Whatever. So we're gonna skip to the second day of school. Mind you, like I said, I didn't go to school the first day. I just went to school just to get my locker combo and then my schedule, and then I left. So the second day of school, I make sure I had drip too. I had on some little Spanish graphic tee with the Pumas. I was dripped out that day. Like, I'm like, yeah, I gotta see her. I'm like, I gotta see her again. And then when I went to school, I'm like, yeah, best attire. Like, feel me? Mind you, my freshman year, like, I was dripping, but that, I don't know, that second day fit was like, it was, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so what happened? Oh yeah, I walk into school, mind you, I don't know where it was, so I had to go to ask mad teachers, security guards. I'm like, yo, where's the foreign doing? Where the foreign doing? Where that? So mind you, I'm walking to class, I'm trying to find her. Mind you, we get 30 minutes. And I think it's like 30 minutes before, cause we don't have homeroom, so we really just walking around or like just trying to meet new people or find our classes. So I'm walking around trying to find Shorty, right? I'm like, dang. So mind you, I was almost late to class trying to find her. Like, I was on a mission. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get her. Like, yeah, this me. Nigga, yeah, nigga, I'm here. Nigga, what's up, nigga, yeah. So, anyway, I get to class or whatever. So I'm just sitting there like, all right. I'm just thinking about her the whole time. Like, yo, I need Shorty. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, where she got a nigga? I'm like, I don't even care. Like, this about to be mine. Like, I don't care if she got a nigga or not. Like, you mine, Shorty. Like, yeah, I'm coming like that. Feel me? A freshman year too. I don't care how old he was, how big they were. Yeah. So the bell ring, and then I think we had it was second period, but I had a double period. But we got like 5 minutes in between before the bell ring to like just walk around or whatever. So I'm walking around, right? I see her in the wing. I think I was in the 600 wing at the time. She walking down the hallway. Mind you, I'm in my head thinking again, I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to mess this up. I'm about to walk to her. I'm going to just hug her like what's going on or whatever. Bro, let me tell you what I did, bro. I see Shorty. I was like, I swear to God, like, I was like on some like weird junk. Like, I was like, dumbass motherfucker. So then I'm like, where you been, stranger? On some little nigga junk. Like, I was supposed to be on some grown man time, and I'm on some, but you know, I was a freshman, so it's all good. So she was like, oh hey, she said, you having trouble with your classes or whatever? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, where the 300 wing at? She was just like, it's down home. I'm like, she was trying to explain it to me something in my head. I'm like, wait, this would be the perfect time for me to get her number. Like, yeah. So I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, honestly, I don't even know, and I can't remember. So like, just give me your number and I'll just text you. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is about to go, like, amazing. Shorty hit me with the, I don't got my phone right now. My mom got it. That should have been the second red flag right there, because it's like, yo, good girls really don't get their phone taken away unless, like, they don't. Like, they just don't. So, mind you, like I said, I'm a freshman, though, so you got, cut me some slack. So she's like, I don't got my phone right now. I'm going to get it tomorrow, though. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, so I'm going to see you tomorrow? She was like, yeah. So I'm like, it's my job. But I still took her number down. She wrote her number down or whatever. Boom. So what happened? Like the third day of school, I didn't even see her. So I'm walking to school. Mind you, I got the drip on. I'm sitting there like, yeah. Like, I'm about to see my shorty. Yeah. So then I didn't even see her third day. So I'm like, all right, it's whatever. Fourth day of school, I ain't see her. I think around like the fifth day of school, I seen her again. And I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, what's up? She was just like, she's like, I didn't even see you these past couple days. I'm like, you been in school? I'm like, I didn't even see you. She was like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, you got your phone back? She was like, yeah, I got my phone. Mind you, we getting all close and buddy. So I'm in the whole way hugging her. Like, you know, I'm doing my thing. I'm like hugging her and junk like that, too, walking around with her, like in school, just, you know, just being me. So then I think like the 6th day of school, right? Like a full week, like a full week went by, and then Monday had hit again. I met new people or whatever. So then I'm gonna call this person, somebody else that I met, another female that I met. I'm gonna call her Miss Puff, right? So I think the first, that Monday I woke into school, she just staring at me. So I'm just like, all right, like, I ain't want to be no, mind you, I ain't no hoe. So like, I'm just like, nah, my eyes on this one girl, but we could be friends. Like, we could be like little associates right now. Like, well, not for right now, but like, we could be associates. Like, feel me? So she was like, oh, hi, I'm Miss Puff. I'm like, what's good? I'm Tay. So she was like, what grade are you? And I'm like, I'm a freshman. She's like, okay. She said, yo, is Beetle your girl? I'm like, nah, why, what's up? she was just like, oh, she's like, I thought she was your girl. Everybody keeps saying that. So mind you, like I said, I don't know nobody. Just mad rumors going around. I'm like, how already? This a full week of school. I'm like, bro, how everybody thinking that she my girl already? So I'm like, I swear, I'm like, I didn't care because like I liked her anyway. So I'm like, I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm like, it's whatever. So I'm like, nah, she's not my girl. I'm like, why? What happened though? So then that's what she says to me. She was just like, yo, whatever you do, do not date her. I'm like, why? I'm like, what happened? She was just like, listen. She says, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but just trust me, don't date her. Mind you, I don't even know this girl. So I'm like, you're bugging. Like this, she about to be mine. So then I ended up seeing Beetle, right? So then mind you, I'm hugging her the whole way, holding her head, like, you know, she's talking. So then I think she was like, oh, that's my ex or whatever. So, cause some nigga that was walking past. Shout out to my nigga Jay. If you see this, I'm dead text you and let you know that this is you I'm talking about. So I'm looking at him like, what is he gonna do? Like, I'm on my like, yeah, nigga, what's up? Nigga, yeah, I'm here, nigga. Oh, yeah, nigga. So then, boom. So we get to, mind you, like I didn't care about that, but so I ended up getting home that day. I was mad excited because she got her phone back, whatever. We texting. I'm like, yo, what's up? Shorty says to me, right? Oh no, I'm lying. That day in school, everybody in school was like, yo, Tay, don't date her, whatever, right? So I'm like, why? Why everybody telling me that? So then, I think, who was I talking to? And was like, yo, she's a treesh. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. Oh, I was talking to, I'm gonna call this person Black, right? So he was like, nah, bro. He was like, bro, trust me, she's a treat, bro. You might catch something if you mess with her. I'm like, what? I'm like, how many bodies she got? He was like, bro, like 20 plus. I'm like, I know you a lie. I know you a lie. No way. He was like, bro, I'm telling you, she's like a OD treat. Right? So then I get home, I'm like, so mind you, I don't really let what people say to me, like, affect the way I think about people. Like if I like you for who you are, like trust me, like you don't gotta worry about that. Like I like you for who you are. I'm not gonna let somebody else's opinion change. You know what I'm saying? So I just text her. I'm like, yo, why is everybody telling me like you feel me? Like people telling me like you be around. She was like, people just be hating on me. Like they don't even know me. I don't care what nobody say. Every tree says this. Like I swear to God. She was like, oh, they don't even know me. They be hating on me, talk about me. Oh, they don't even know my story. That should have been the third red flag right there. But mind you, like I said, I don't let nobody, you know what I'm saying, opinion affect how I feel about you. So I'm like, all right, man. So I'm just like, and mind you, now I'm nervous because I'm like, yo, if I really date this girl and she really be a treat, like that's gonna be bad on me. Like, you feel me? So I'm mad nervous. So then I think I was friends with Miss Puff, right? So she calls me and she was like, I forgot what we was talking about, but it was nothing about like Beetle though. So I'm texting Beetle, right? She was like, yo, so she says to me, right? Yo, tomorrow she says, let's get these hoes and niggas mad. She says, I wanna meet you in the, mind you, there's like this one part in our school, like in the front, like near the security guards, like everybody be like, it'd be like at least 100 plus kids. Like it's near the South cafeteria. Everybody be there. Freshmen, sophomores, I don't care who you are, everybody be there. So she was like, yo, I want to meet you in front of there. And she says, all she said was, let's get these hoes and niggas mad. So I'm like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you want to dance? Like I'm thinking she want to have a little pop locking battle. I'm like, yeah. So I'm thinking she want to like, I don't know. So then I'm like, what do you want to do? She says to me, I want to kiss you in front of in front of everybody. So now in my head, I'm like, all right, everybody telling me she a treat. And it's like, because it's like, if one person or like two people say something about you, like I'm not gonna care because it's like, but if people I don't even know coming up to me like, yo, bro, that's your girl, like you're bugging. Like if everybody telling me this, so now I'm just like, yo, do I really want to do this? Like, I'm scared. She says, tomorrow, she says, I'm gonna come and get you off your bus. Mind you, she knew my bus and everything. She said, I'm gonna come and get you off your bus, and then we're gonna walk in and we're gonna kiss in front of everybody. So now my heart, like, I'm like, yo, like, she bugging, like, nah, nigga, you're wildin'. So then, I swear to God, I was in my bed, like, just sitting there, like,
you're bugging?
Like, I was nervous, boy. Like, nervous. Like, it wasn't even a word. So then I ended up, mind you, I'm thinking about this heavy. I'm walking around my room like this. Like, yo. Like, what am I, like, I'm nervous. I'm like, what am I about to do, bro? So then I ended up falling asleep. It was like around like 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'm up just thinking like, yo, like, what am I about to do? So I slept on it, right? And then I ended up texting Miss Puff early in the morning like, yo, Beetle said this. Like, what should I do? She was like, oh no. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm scared, boy. So what I did was, right, I swear to God, I got off, I went to, like, cause I had to get on my bus stop, right? So I got on the bus. As soon as I got to school, I ran to the gym room. I ran to the gym because I know she don't even be nowhere near over there in the morning. So I called Miss Puff and I'm like, yo, meet me near the gym. So I'm just sitting there scared. I'm like, yo, I'm like, Beetle. I'm like, yo, Miss Puff, what am I about to do? Like, I'm scared. Like, She was just like, she said, if you want to do it, but I'm telling you not to do it. Like, don't do it. So I'm like, I'm sitting there like, she trying to give me herpes. Like, I'm scared. Like, I don't even, like I said, I'm a freshman. So I'm like, my nerves is like through the roof, boy. So I ended up walking into her, right? I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking she's gonna be in a place because she was texting me previously like, yo, where you at? So I guess, and mind you, I walked where her locker was. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm walking, right? I see her. She had on a dress. She was looking alright. I ain't gonna forget a little like, little floral dress or whatever. With some heels. I don't know whether she had on something, but she was looking nice. She was looking alright. So I see her and I'm like, she's walking towards me, so I'm thinking she better try to grab me and kiss me. So I'm like, no. So then I'm walking up to her, right? And I just hug her. Like I didn't even want her to get close to my face. I just hug her. I'm like, oh, what's up? Mind you, Miss Puff's sitting on the side of me. Like, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm sick right now. So I'm walking with her, right? And I'm just like walking. I'm just scared. I'm like, nah, boy, no way. Like, so then I ended up just going to my class. She texted me. She was like, yo, why are you acting so weird? She says, we were supposed to, no, she said, yeah, she was like, so she says, why are you acting so weird? So I left her open for like a good 30 minutes. I'm just like, yo, like, what am I to say to her? I'm like, nah, my bad. I'm like, I forgot. I made it like, that was so dumb. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, my bad. I'm like, I got caught up with somebody. Mind you, I only knew like 2 or 3 people. So I'm just lying, like acting like I knew somebody. I'm like, oh no, I got caught up with the people at the gym. Like, my bad. So she was like, she says, I want to see you and I want to do this 5th period. That's my lunch period. So I'm like, oh, she's really on it. Like she wants to do this. Like, she wants to do this. So I'm like, nah, you're bugging. So I'm like, nah. I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell her like one way or another, like, yo, I can't do this with you. Like, no. So then I hit up Beetle. I hit up Miss Puff. And I'm like, yo, she's talking about she wanna do this 5th period, my lunch period in the lunchroom. I'm like, nah, she's bugging. Like bugging, like wilding. So then, after that, I just was dodging her the whole day. I didn't even go to lunch. Like, I went to the library. Like, I ain't not want to see her at all. So she texted me. She was like, oh, if you don't like me, just say that. Like, if you don't want to talk to me, or just say that. So mind you, I'm not a mean nigga. So I'm like, nah, it's not that I don't want to. I'm like, I hit out. I'm like, nah, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, I feel like you're moving too fast. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let's just be friends. Like, she was like, oh, she's like, why you didn't just say this before? I'm like, cuz, I ain't expect you to do what you doing. Like, you moving a little too fast, baby. Like, chill, like, relax, dude. Like, you're moving a little too fast, dude. So, the whole day go by, and I'm just like, I went home. She texted me. Mind you, she was like, oh, she says to me, she was like, oh, everybody always assume things about me and don't know. Like, man, she just keeps saying the same thing. Like, oh, I'm having family problems. And I'm just like, listen, like, whatever problems you going through, baby girl, you got to get them yourself because Tay ain't gonna be the one. I ain't gonna be the one. So, long story short, she ended up like texting me a couple of weeks later, like, oh, I love you and some weird junk. I didn't even pay no mind. She ended up running away. It was a whole lot of other garbage that went by. But, man, that was like a really traumatic story time that I went through my freshman year and it wasn't great. It was not great. All I'm gonna say is to the upcoming freshmen or whatever freshmen, if you ever see this video, always be aware for females that tend to do the things that she did in this story. Like, I'm not saying all females got their phone. Nah, I'm not gonna say that because, like I said, good girls don't get their phone taken away. So, being that I said that, take this advice, take this story, and use it for yourself. If you ever see any of those 3 flags, bro, let it go. Like, dub it. Like, right away, dub it. Like, me being a nice dude caused me to go through that. Like, if I was a regular nigga, like, if I was, like, some real, like, I'll let you know what it is, like, yo, like, feel me? I would have never went through that. But being that I'm a nice nigga and I'm a genuinely caring nigga, that's why I went through that. But listen, like, I'm not saying don't be a good nigga, but just be careful and be cautious of what, you feel me? Because, like, if you kiss a bye-bye cliche, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be bad reputation on you. Like, it's my freshman year, so I don't want to have no bad reputation of dating no treason or nothing like that. But yeah, man, so that's what happened. Long story short, yeah, she ran away, whatever, and she, I don't even know where she at. But if you ever see this story, I mean, if you ever see this video, like, you know what I'm saying, no hard feelings, like, you know, like, just, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so if y'all enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you're new to see the channel, turn on your post notifications. And if y'all want me to start doing more story times, I definitely will. Like, I have no problem. I like telling y'all stories. Like, this is actually fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even gotta do so much editing. Like, I just gotta literally just, like, I mean, I gotta edit, but I don't gotta edit. Like, you feel me? Like, this is just like a straightforward video. Like, you feel me? So if y'all want me to do more of those, more story times, I will. Like, I don't really have a lot, but I will tell the ones that I have. Just leave a comment down in the comment section. And yeah, your boy will get to them because I respond to all comments. Like, y'all really don't be like trying to talk to me in the comments. Like, tell me like what's up. Like, I ain't Hollywood. Like, feel me? Like, chill. But yeah, so like I said, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you to the channel, turn on your post notifications, man. But I will see you guys when I see you guys. No cap.
Subscribe to my channel, bye!
Everybody rock with me because I'm up now. Took your girl and I'm scoring like I made the touchdown. Swerving in a Lambo, doors go up, not on the bus now. Used to want a G-Shock, now I'm walking with a bus now. Pull up and I'm flooded with a iced out watch. With it look like butter, baby, peek and drop. Peek and drop with that 4 and sun drop.